morning, everyone. I am Sonika Agrawal from Universal Business School, and today I am in conversation with Dr. Venunadhan Pillai, who is an executive principal of SSVM institutions, Coimbatore, and also who is head of its international curriculum. It's an absolute honor and privilege to have you here, sir. And today I am looking forward to have a conversation with you on the education system and its impact on the society. So allow me to ask a few questions and take this conversation forward.
Please.
Thank you so much. So sir, the whole conversation is about the ongoing pandemic and the challenges that schools are facing in terms of the assessment of a student. So I would like to understand what are the challenges that was being faced during the student assessment process and how you have overcome that.
Well, as I mentioned already, that I manage international curriculum, that is Cambridge, IGCSE level, and IB. And my direct management of this curriculum happened in 2020. That's when in 2021, my colleagues did it, but the challenges were same, of course, with some changes in approaches. Mm-hmm. There was no examination that time, assessing the students solely on the basis of examination. That used to be the prevalent practice of the world.
Absolutely.
Halt all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And that's when it was important for us to look at the holistic growth of the children in their over a period of time. So we were asked to award marks and grades on the basis of their performances, past performances. Mm-hmm. That's what Cambridge did actually.
Yeah.
And even somebody, for example, Cambridge, the highest grade for Cambridge was A star. He says. Yeah. And even if you award 10 A stars, we were asked to rank them according to their position in the A star. If there are 10 people, who is the first in A star, who is the second, third in A star, we were asked to rank over them, which was really a challenging process. So, but we fortunately didn't have much because we had a system of profile development for the students. We used to keep the profile. The learner's profile we used to keep. This learner's profile helped us establish very realistic grades for them. Because in Cambridge and IB, we usually give the predicted grade or forecast grades. We used to have that system. And we used to try to make it as realistic as possible. Mm-hmm. And most of the time, the forecast grades that we award is the grade they achieve. So it wasn't much a challenge for us. But it was a challenge for many other schools who did not have the system of forecast grades or predicted grades.
Absolutely.
Those who did not have the student profiling system in place.
Right.
This is what we experienced. And actually, this became a big learning for all the schools. So irrespective of the curriculum that they follow, that they have to maintain a student portfolio. And that portfolio came into existence naturally when we started using the online platforms, because everything that they do will automatically form a digital portfolio.
Absolutely.
And that is the view of the world. That will be the future. So it's better that we keep that kind of formative assessment records and create portfolios for the students.
Right. Absolutely. So glad to know that, since it is IB board and British curriculum, so you didn't have much challenge to evaluate a student. But sir, in terms of the online...
I didn't want to say that challenge was not there, because when we are awarding, certainly, the parents and the students...
Yeah, at least it was minimal. Yeah.
For us,
as compared to,
but we were not able to do that one because we were ethically oriented and ethical practices were followed.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. So, sir, when we talk about the online classes and students, so what has been the area or how did we map the actual learning? What was the standard which was being set by the curriculum, and what was the actual learning of a student when it is on an online mode? Because we have been experiencing that students' interest has been lost online. They are not able to sit in front of cameras. So, where do you and how do you evaluate or balance between the standards and the actual learning of a student?
Well, first of all, learning happens everywhere, not only in the classroom. Whether,
True.
whether it is online, offline, or hybrid mode, or anywhere, learning happens. And learning has to happen on the basis of the learning objectives. So you achieve the learning
Well
objective.
said, sir.
Learning objectives. So the teachers really should have smart learning objectives. SMART is, that acronym. It is specific, measurable, relevant and realistic, achievable, time oriented, time bound objectives. So once these measurable objectives are set properly, you can teach online or offline, or we can even guide the students to learn and tell them this is what you need to know. So actually, I feel that this pandemic was more positive for education sector than negative, because the students achieved a lot of self-efficacy. Those students who lost interest at the beginning of the year and later they themselves realized that no, it's not a situation of 1 or 2 days, it is an ongoing situation. If I do not catch up myself with that one, I would be in trouble. So they themselves, developed a responsibility for their own learning.
Right.
I don't want to say exceptions are not there, exceptions are there. Certainly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Majority of the students have developed the self-efficacy. This self-efficacy wouldn't come in the normal circumstances. That's why I'm saying that it is a positive thing. I would like to see the positive aspects of
It's a blessing in disguise.
Yes, even for the teachers, for that matter, the teachers who were very reluctant to adopt digital technologies in the classroom were forced to accept it or, get evicted from the system.
Yeah.
So they immediately, overnight, they became tech savvies.
Yeah.
These things wouldn't happen in the normal circumstance. So I always would like to view things like this. Every experience is a new learning.
Yeah.
Every experience is a teachable moment.
True.
Every experience is positive. Well, it is the way you look at things matters actually more than how do you, take it emotionally. So you have to look at things positively and find opportunities for that one. There is a saying called carpe diem. Carpe diem means seize the day. So things that happen today, you should seize that day, the opportunities of the day. So pandemic had opportunities. Seize the opportunities. Students seized the opportunities. Teachers seized the opportunities. Businessmen seized the opportunities. New businesses came up.
Yeah.
So this is true with the, teaching learning processes also. I don't want to say that it was completely gone. So teachers have become more responsible. They started making clear objectives, smart objectives. Accordingly,
Right.
started teaching online and students started learning online. This is what I would say about it.
On a very positive note, sir, very well said that yes, and salute to all the front warriors, the principals and the teachers, because they adopted this change and technological emerging trends overnight. So they are the ones who kept it going, who really kept that education going even in the tough times. So education was the only thing that never stopped.
Nothing has stopped actually. The only thing is that how we approached things changed. New normals came into the picture. Well, previously I observed a lot of teachers who were having allergy to chalk dust, and I advised them to wear a mask. when they were in the class, which they were not ready to do. They were ready to suffer the, aftermath of the allergy attacks rather than keeping their mouth closed. Now, see, automatically this has come into picture. Sanitization, this is there are no possibilities. Of course, difficulties were there. Difficulties had been there. Difficulties are there, and difficulties will be there.
Will be there.
One or other way. How we approach them, how we tackle them, how we make use of them, how we seize the opportunities. These things matter more than, crying about, oh, this didn't happen like that, this should happen like that. No, you should see how you can make use of the available opportunities. So that's
Great. Couldn't agree more with you, sir. Absolutely in agreement of what you are saying. Absolutely. I mean, we should always look at the positive aspect of anything that happens. So absolutely second your thoughts, sir. So now you being an expert, I would like to know, now my next question would be on the degree versus skills. Now, even the NEP talks of the skills development right from the 6th standard. So, and we always, that's the general phenomena or the notion that we always judge the student or anybody on the basis of the degrees that they have or the institutions they would have passed out from, and forget about or ignore the skill sets. So, which is now more important in this changing world? A degree is more important or skill sets?
See, I'm smiling because, there are so many people who have high degrees do not have the ability to perform. There was a research in 2015, I think. It was a similar research because of a special situation. There was a massive unemployment among youth that time.
Yeah.
That is one part of it. And the other side of it was a massive shortage of employable youth. That means the skills, those who do have the skills, the shortage of youth who can be employed.
Yeah.
So unemployment at the same time, not having people with the necessary skill set to be employed. That situation came, and that time learner agency came into picture again more vigorously. Learner agency is something that had been there for a long time and is still there, but it came back into picture in modern education system since then. That is, the skill development became part of school education, college education and all. More skill orientation came rather than having exam-oriented learning. The problem with exam-oriented learning, which otherwise called norm-referenced assessment, is that you forget immediately after writing the examination. You won't remember that. And you don't have the skill, you don't have the knowledge. The learning doesn't stick.
Yeah.
The learning has to stick. The best example is driving. You drive, right?
Yeah.
What kind of degree you have got to drive?
Practical learning, 7 days of practical learning.
So you actually drove, and even the driving test doesn't rank you, doesn't compare you with the other test takers of the day. And if they see that you are able to drive out on the road, you are given, given this is skill that we require. So skills are
absolutely.
For that, actually, the assessment system from non-referenced assessment system to criterion referenced assessment system, that means you have to have a set of criteria, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. So a person to move from grade 1 to grade 2 should have fulfilled this criteria, set of criteria.
Yeah, true.
Grade 2 to grade 3 should have completed this, minimally this much set of criteria.
Exactly.
Like that, if you go on, skills will develop. So that skill development is coming to NEP now. But it is not a new thing in the world. It is not a new thing, especially for India. It was there even in our Gurukul system. The children who went into the schools in the Gurukul system came out when they were ready to come out and face the world. Not because they were able to get, because of the continuous study of 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 18 years, 20 years, they got a degree. It is not that one. They were able to perform in the actual real world.
Absolutely.
That's what we want. So I answered your question. It is not the degree. Degree, of course, is required. Exams are required for gauging because there is a competition out there. For that, there should be some standards to be preserved. So degrees are required. But degree coupled with, skills. See, we have a lot of experiences of successful businessmen around the world. I don't want to name, who are college dropouts, who did not have any degree.
Absolutely.
Even in India, I know so many people who can even go to your business schools and teach how to run a successful business, but they
even without having a degree.
There, and the skill is important.
Absolutely. Well said. So now there is what the future of education the near future of education looks like in this, again, the new variant which has come up and spreading all over. So what would be your, how do you foresee the education, and what are the suggestions, and what should be the measures that each schools or society should take?
Pandemic was there even before. Corona was not the first pandemic in the world. How did we survive those days? Same survival will happen. We will develop survival skills. See, we are all born fighters.
Undoubtedly.
We are here because we fought with, actually, it's biology. When we were conceived, millions of sperms were deposited, and the one was successful competing others. So we are all born champions in that way. So we will continue to fight, and we will develop new devices. We will develop new systems, and life will continue like this. And I'm not a pessimist to say that, Corona will end the life here. No. There will be casualties. I don't want to say that there will not be casualties. We have to be careful. We have to be cautious. We have to be proactive. We have to take all possible measures not to get infected. At the same time, life should not be halted. Life should not be halted. By doing so, you are actually stopping the progress of the world, progress of humanity. Life should be allowed to continue. People should be educated how to prevent diseases, how to prevent infections, and they should be allowed to continue their daily activity. This is what I want to say. And it has to happen. And people will modify themselves. And what? Nobody has to say that you have to wash your hands now.
Yeah.
How many times you wash your hands now? You sanitize your hands now. And these things will become habits.
Exactly.
So exactly. Yes, life will continue like that, I believe.
Absolutely. I'm really feeling very energetic because I am getting a different dose of motivation. So really thankful to you, sir, because with due respect to everyone, that even at our home, we all talk of the consequences, we talk of the problems, and we never talk of the solutions. But then whatever that you're talking today is actually the reality, because we have got lives, we cannot stop living. And we have to find the best solution in whatever the condition that we have or situation we have today.
Yeah, every time. It's not the first time.
Yeah. There were absolutely.
There was smallpox, plague.
Yeah.
We overcame all these things. We have to look at the positive side. We have to see the opportunities available from this new experience. Experience is a new learning.
Yeah.
Look at that way, but it does not mean that you have to be casual with your life. No, I didn't say that. I didn't suggest it. You should be extremely careful about not getting infected, about your own life. You should have your regimentation. Nowadays, it is important to have a bit of regimentation in your life. And that should be there. That is what I'm advocating, actually.
Great, sir. So my last question to you would be, what message would you like to give to the students who are passing out, who have not been attending the classes from last 2 years, and now they are in the verge of coming out of a school and deciding mode of their graduation university? So what is that one mantra or message that you would like to give?
There is no one mantra or message. It is, again, self-efficacy. It's my life, and I am the one to decide how to live my life. So do not get influenced by the negativity around you.
Absolutely.
Look at things positively. And we should develop cognitive strategies, content knowledge, self-management skills. Also, you should have sufficient knowledge about the post-secondary education scenario around the world, how to apply for universities, colleges, systems, and all these things in place, and to be smart and to get into that.
Great. This is
offline, hybrid, homeschooling, whatever mode that you follow.
True. This is something we all should adopt. This is the lesson that we all should learn and start living our lives into a different direction.
True.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Dr. Pillai, for conversating, for sparing your time out and spending. And it was very, very thoughtful, provoking a discussion we had today. And as I already mentioned, that was very, very energetic, very, very being optimistic in life, no matter what we do, is this is the lesson that I'm learning from you today. And thank you so much for everything.
Thank you. Actually, I don't remember exactly the sentence. Shakespeare once said, cowards will die many times in their lives, and the brave will die only once in their life. So be brave.